Okay, take a deep breath. No,
Yeah.
seriously, do it right now. Inhale.
Right.
Exhale. Because where we are going today, the air is thin, the smell of ozone and sulfur is practically coming off the pages, and the tension is just suffocating.
Yeah.
We are diving straight back into the files, opening the dossier on the latest and, frankly, the most devastating installment of this investigation, Session 42.
And if you thought the previous sessions were intense, I mean, with the bent pyramid and that face-to-face with the Black Pharaoh well, Session 42 basically takes the rule book, lights it on fire, and throws it out a window. This isn't just an investigation anymore. It's survival horror.
It really, really feels that way. We aren't just looking for clues today. We're counting casualties. So let's set the scene. We're back in Cairo. The team Lila, Rex, Sam, Valerie, and Riais, they're standing at the gates of the Mosque of Ibn Tulun. Now, looking at our notes from the last deep dive, this isn't just a standard place of worship in our mystery, is it?
No, far from it. As we established from the logs in Session 41, the Mosque of Ibn Tulun has this dual kind of grim purpose. On the surface, yeah, it's a historic mosque, but right now it functions as a sanatorium.
Right.
It's basically a warehouse for the broken minds of Cairo. But beneath that, deep down, it's a vault. It's a hiding place for relics the world just isn't ready to see.
And our team is there on a very specific mission. They're not there to pray. They're there to liberate the Girdle's Nitocris.
Which is a heavy artifact in its own right. We know from the briefing it's a belt of interlinked gold chains with a ruby clasp.
Okay.
And it's being guarded by Nessim Efti and the spiritual leader Ahmed al-Dahabi. Now remember, the investigators, they've been granted access. They passed that test of the sword last time, proving they weren't, servants of the dark cults.
So picture this. You have this team. They're already battered. They're already on edge from days of fighting cultists and seeing things no human should see. And they're walking down these stairs into a secure, bare stone room behind these heavy iron doors. The atmosphere is just dripping with dread. The logs mention Valerie specifically, our doctor, usually the rational one.
Yeah.
She senses a twisting sensation in the air.
And that's a key detail we shouldn't just gloss over. Valerie isn't just reacting to a spooky basement. In this world, when someone sensitive feels a twisting, it usually means the barrier between dimensions is getting thin.
Right.
She's sensing raw power radiating from that iron door. It's like standing next to a nuclear reactor that's leaking, but instead of radiation, it's leaking. Unreality.
And then the leak bursts. They get into the room. They see the chest with the girdle, and then chaos.
Absolute chaos.
A line of black fire just ignites out of nowhere.
And from that fire emerges. Well, the logs call it a snake-like creature, but that feels like a massive understatement. This isn't a cobra.
No.
This is a manifestation of the mythos. And this brings us to the moment where the investigation really changes, fundamentally. We have to talk about the sanity mechanic here.
Yeah, let's unpack that. Because in a normal action movie, a monster shows up, the hero says a cool one-liner, and they start shooting. But here,
Not what happens.
that is not what happens.
No, if you look at the source material on monsters, beasts, and alien gods, and the specific mechanics of sanity loss, well, seeing something like this, it triggers a cognitive break. It's not just fear. It's not, oh, that's scary. It's the realization that the universe operates on rules you cannot comprehend. Your brain literally rejects what it is seeing.
It's like trying to load a file that's too big for your computer's memory. The whole system just crashes.
Exactly.
And we see that system crash happen in real time with the team. It's a total psychological collapse. Let's look at Lila. She's been the sharp one, the investigator connecting the dots. She sees this thing and she just snaps. The logs say she goes indefinitely insane.
Indefinite insanity. And that means this isn't a quick panic attack. This is a rewiring of her personality. And the specific form it takes is paranoia. Suddenly, in her mind, the threat isn't just the giant snake monster.
It's everyone.
It's everyone. She believes no one can be trusted. Her allies, the people she's traveled halfway across the world with, are suddenly potential enemies plotting against her.
Which is just a nightmare scenario for a team that has to rely on trust.
Yeah.
And then you have Valerie. She just starts laughing.
Maniacally.
Uncontrollable laughter in the face of death.
That's a classic hysteria response. The mind is trying to process horror and it short circuits into absurdity. It's a defense mechanism, but a very loud, very dangerous one.
And then there's Rex. Rex Quimby.
Yeah.
This is the hard part of the file.
Yeah.
Rex goes into a state of temporary insanity. but his brain rationalizes the horror differently. He sees a demon.
Right. He frames it within a context he can fight.
Okay.
This is a demon summoned by witchcraft. It's a coping mechanism. He can't fight a cosmic entity that defies physics, but a demon...
A demon is a target.
A demon is a target. It gives him a mission.
So the fight is on. Nessim, the guardian, he steps up. He's wielding the scimitar, and it starts to glow.
Yeah.
And it's actually hurting the beast, slicing through its defenses. But Rex decides to end it.
He does what Rex does. He takes his shotgun, the same shotgun he's carried through all these horrors, the one he used to protect everyone in New York, in London, and he blasts the creature, and he hits it. He blows the creature's head clean off.
And in any other story, that's the moment. The music swells, the hero wins, they all high-five. But this isn't that story.
No, the head, it just grows back. It appears somewhere else on the body.
Yeah.
And this is the brutal lesson of this session.
Yeah.
Conventional force is meaningless.
It doesn't work.
You cannot shoot your way out of a cosmic problem. Rex's shotgun, which represents human ingenuity, human power, it's a toy against this thing.
And that's when it happens. The logs are just, they're brutal in how brief they are here. Rex Quimby.
Is killed in the encounter.
It's a moment that just stops you cold. We have to look at the investigator roster just to double check, but there it is. Rex Quimby. Status. Died.
Cause. Killed by a snake monster in session 42.
I want to take a second here, because we've been following Rex for a long time. He wasn't just a name on a page.
No.
This was the guy who, just a few sessions ago in the Bend Pyramid, looked the Black Pharaoh in the face, an avatar of an outer god.
And spit at him.
And spit at him.
He did. When he was offered everything his heart desired, the safety of his family back home, he refused to sell his soul. He asked for the Pharaoh's death.
He was the family man.
Mm-hmm.
The one writing letters to Margaret. He was the grounding force for the group, and he died fighting what he thought was a demon, trying to protect his team.
It really highlights the lethality of this world they're in. You know, we often think of these investigators as protagonists with plot armor, but they're fragile. They're just people with anxiety and shotguns facing down gods. Rex's death changes everything. It removes that shield. If the moral center of the group can be dismembered in seconds, anyone can die.
It raises the stakes for everyone left. And the tragedy is compounded by the chaos around his death. Valerie is laughing, Layla is paranoid, the room is on fire. It's just a messy, horrific end.
It's not glorious, it's just sudden.
But they do survive. Roos manages to get the boy out. He grabs Valerie, and amidst all this madness, they secure the objective. Layla, in her paranoia, actually grabs the box with the girdle.
Which is impressive in a way. Even while her mind is telling her that everyone is a traitor, her investigator instinct to get the item just overrides the fear. So they escape the room, Nessim survives, and the creature is left behind.
Once the dust settles, or, well, once they escape the room and are out in the courtyard, there's this frantic regrouping. And this leads to a very interesting development with that weapon Nessim was using.
The scimitar.
Right. Roos and Valerie inspect it, but they can't really make heads or tails of it at first. But Layla, she translates the inscription. This is the Sword of Akmala, a shining light in the dark.
A weapon that can hurt mythos entities. A shining light. We saw it work. It hurt the creature when the shotgun failed. This is a game changer.
But here's the irony that I find absolutely delicious in a dark way. Who do they give this weapon to?
Layla.
Layla. The woman who literally minutes ago suffered a complete mental break and believes everyone is out to get her. They hand her the most powerful weapon they have because, well, she has the combat skills.
It's a recipe for disaster, isn't it? You're giving a magical sword to someone who might suddenly think you're the monster, but it just speaks to the desperation of the group. They have no good options left. They have the girdle, they have the sword, but they've lost their tank Rex, and their minds are fracturing.
So they leave the mosque, they leave Rex's body behind, which is just heartbreaking. But they have the girdle of Nitocris. Now the question is, what is this thing actually for? Why does the Brotherhood want it so badly?
To answer that, they head back to the Egyptian Museum to meet with Dr. Ali Kaffour. He's become their anchor in Cairo, really the only person who can contextualize all this horror.
And can we mention the atmosphere detail here? The logs mention cats.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of cats.
Cats following the group everywhere, walking alongside them, watching from walls.
Is that just flavor? Or does it mean something?
It's almost certainly significant. Remember, back in session 41, the logs mention the worship of Bast the cat goddess. In this kind of lore, both Lovecraftian and Egyptian, cats are often guardians or observers of the supernatural.
Huh.
It seems the local feline population knows something is up. They can sense the aura of the artifacts the team is carrying.
So they get to Kafur, and he finally lays out the puzzle pieces. The girdle isn't just a fancy belt. It's a component.
It's a resurrection recipe. Dr. Kafur explains that the Brotherhood isn't just stealing for profit, they're trying to resurrect Queen Nitocris.
We heard that name back in Session 37, the stolen mummy.
Exactly. Nitocris is a figure of legend, the Ghoul Queen, historically associated with vengeance and dark sorcery. And to bring her back, the Brotherhood needs a set. They need the crown, the necklace, the girdle, and something called space mead.
Wait, space mead? Like the drink?
That's what the notes say, space mead. It sounds bizarre, but in this context, it probably refers to a substance not of this earth.
Okay.
Maybe a cosmic ambrosia or something synthesized from mythos materials. It just reinforces that this isn't standard Egyptian magic. This involves things from the stars.
So the Brotherhood of the Black Pharaoh is gathering components for this grand ritual. And the investigators now hold one of the keys.
They have the girdle, which puts a massive target on their backs. They aren't just investigating a crime anymore, they are actively blocking the resurrection of a sorceress queen. They're the cork in the bottle.
And while they're learning this, while they're putting these pieces together in the safety of the museum, another bombshell drops. Layla finds something in the museum stacks.
Scrolls, labeled Al-Azif.
Now, for those who aren't steeped in the lore, Al-Azif might just sound like an old title. But Dr. Kafur confirms it. This is the original Arabic title for
The Necronomicon.
the big one, the ultimate book of forbidden lore.
We need to contextualize this. According to the history of the Necronomicon source in our dossier, this was written by Abdul al-Hazred in Damascus around 730 AD. This isn't just a spooky book. It's a tome that drives people mad just by reading it. It contains knowledge of the great old ones, the outer voids, things the human mind isn't built to hold.
And Lila, poor paranoid Lila, she finds these scrolls. And what does she do?
Her broken mind just decides, I need this. She tries to steal the Necronomicon scrolls. She hides them in the box with the girdle.
Talk about a volatile cocktail. You put the resurrection girdle and the Necronomicon in the same box, held by a paranoid investigator wielding a magic sword.
It's a powder keg. And notice Lila's behavior here. The logs say she starts talking to the cats.
Right.
She's disassociating from reality, finding communion with these silent watchers. She's whispering secrets to the stray cats of Cairo while robbing the museum.
But she doesn't get away with it, right?
No. And this is a testament to Valerie's resilience. Despite her own trauma, remember, she was laughing maniacally just an hour ago. Valerie spots the theft. She manages to intervene, take the scrolls back, and return them to Ali Kafur.
That dynamic is fascinating. The group is literally fracturing. They're grieving Rex, they're battling their own insanity, and now they're having to police each other to stop them stealing from their only allies.
It's the disintegration of trust. And that's exactly what the mythos does. It doesn't just kill you physically, it isolates you. It makes you turn on each other. Lila, trying to steal the Al-Azif, isn't malice, it's madness. But the result is the same. The team is weaker.
So let's look at where we stand at the end of Session 42. It's a grim picture.
It's bleak. Let's run down the roster. Rex Quimby is dead. That's a permanent loss of firepower and morale. Zephyr. Remember Zephyr?
Yeah, ran into the desert back in Session 40.
Right. Permanently insane. Ran into the desert, transforming into a ghoul. So he's gone. That's 2 down. Lila is paranoid and indefinitely insane. Valerie and Sam are holding on by a thread.
But they have the assets. They have the girdle of Nitocris, they have the sword of Akmala, and they know the enemy's plan.
They know the mechanics of the plan, resurrect Nitocris, and they know where they have to go next. The group decides to head to Giza.
Giza, the pyramids. It feels like we are circling back to where the danger is thickest.
It makes sense. If you're dealing with ancient Egyptian resurrections and the Black Pharaoh, Giza is the epicenter. But think about the condition they're in. They are walking into the lion's den limping, bleeding, and hallucinating.
It really makes you wonder about that conversation with the Black Pharaoh back in Session 39.
That is the thought that keeps nagging at me. Let's connect the dots here. The Black Pharaoh made them an offer. Give up your crusade, I will leave you alone for 2 weeks. You can have your desires.
And they said no. Rex literally spit in his face.
Rex spit in the face of a god. And now, a few days later, Rex is dead, dismembered by a monster. You have to ask yourself, was this the punishment? Was this the inevitable consequence?
It feels personal, like the universe took a swing back at him.
And consider the remaining investigators. The pharaoh told them, "You have no hope unless you can be as one." Look at them now. Layla is stealing from Valerie. Paranoia is rampant. They are the opposite of as one.
They're falling apart exactly as he predicted.
Exactly. And now they possess the shining light in the dark, the sword of Akmala. It sounds hopeful, doesn't it? A weapon of light. But here's the thought I want to leave with you today. Can a group that is so filled with darkness, with paranoia, with grief, with insanity, can they even wield such a thing?
That's the real question. Can you use the light if you're already lost in the dark? Or will this sword just burn them up?
We don't know yet, but as they head toward the Sphinx, the odds are historically, mathematically, and supernaturally against them.
Session 42, a turning point, a tragedy, and a descent into deeper madness. We will be watching the dossier closely for the Giza logs. Thanks for listening to this deep dive.
Stay sane out there.
We'll try.